get into it. Noticing was just the beginning. Now that we know how to acknowledge what's there, now that we can sit with ourselves, it is time to name what we've been feeling this whole time. You are aware now. So why do your feelings still feel a little bit unclear? We're going to figure it out. One thing I feel like a lot of us struggle with the relationship between language and emotion. How the two are more connected than we realize. There are still moments where I struggle to call what I'm feeling what it actually is, because here's the thing. When you give an emotion a name, then that means you have to acknowledge it as being real. You have to face it, and a lot of the time we're just not ready for that. Hell, a lot of times I'm not ready for it. It feels a lot safer to sweep shit under the rug, come back to it later, or never. But when I say it cost me, it fucking cost me. Without language, I couldn't accurately say what was going on inside of me. I was depressed for years before I even knew what depression was. I was unhappy long before I could say to myself out loud or even in my head, girl, you're unhappy. When I finally started my journey with myself, I had to sit in like that uncomfortable, in between, like messy middle, like still in the middle of everything, still trying to put out fire, still trying to get through the day while you're trying to also face yourself. All this happened at the same time. But over time, as I developed language for what I was going through, a lot of things shifted in me. I was able to take one step outside of my tornado, and just from like that one step, like that little bit of distance away from it, I can finally see like the damage that the tornado was causing. When you're inside the storm, you can't necessarily see the direction you're going into, what you're destroying, what you're causing damage to. You're just surviving it. You don't know what you feel or which direction to go or how to get out of it. Naming it gave me the distance to see it clearly. Naming it gave me the distance to see it clearly, and seeing it clearly was the first step to actually moving through it. So what naming actually is in context of self-identity is the practice of putting language to who you actually are versus who you've been performing. It's not just naming your emotions, it's naming your patterns, your needs, the roles you've been playing that were never yours in the first place. When you don't have language for your own identity, you can't tell the difference between a trait or a trauma response, between your actual voice and the voice you learn to use so people would accept you. Naming creates that separation, so you can finally look at the thing instead of just living inside of it. Name it is notice it in action. You notice something was there. Now we're going to call it what it is. There's a real cost in not having language. I remember when I first started my spiritual journey, I knew I needed to figure out who I was, but I had no idea where to begin. How do I see myself clearly? What do I actually love about me? I was just a girl standing in front of a mirror with like no language for what she was looking at. I could see myself, but I couldn't know myself. So I just kept moving, feeling everything, understanding nothing. And when you're carrying things you can't name, you don't necessarily sit with them. You react, you lash out. You find yourself in situations that do not deserve you. You become the tornado without realizing you're destroying everything around you. Because unnamed grief turns into anger. Unnamed sadness turns into distance. Unnamed hurt turns into walls. Nobody sees the cause. They only see the reaction, and that's what not having language costs you: relationships, opportunities, community. Language is what closes that gap. It gives you the room to catch it before it bleeds onto the people around you. Before it becomes a pattern, before it becomes your reputation. When you can name what you're carrying, you stop making other people pay for something they didn't cause. So, I just want to say a little 1-2 about name it. Before I end this video, I want to give you one place to start. The next time you feel something, before you react, before you push it down, before you try to sweep it under the rug, ask yourself 3 questions. What am I actually feeling right now? What have I been calling this feeling? And are those 2 things the same? That's it. That's all. That's the practice. Not fixing, not solving, just getting honest about the gap between what you're carrying and what you've been labeling. If you feel like you're always angry, ask yourself what may be under that anger. If you feel like you're always tired, ask yourself what you might be exhausted from that you haven't named. If you feel like you need space from everyone, get space. I'm not gonna lie to you. A lot of times I do feel like I need a lot of space from people just to come back to myself. But if you feel like you need space from everyone, give yourself some space to be by yourself and ask yourself, what might you actually be going through? What are you needing space from? What are you needing a break from? The answer doesn't always have to come immediately. You are just building language, the habit of asking. And if you want to go deeper, I have a guide specifically for this. I'll shoot through the full Name It practice so you can start building real language for who you are. You can grab it on my Gumroad account. The link is down below in the description. But it's not easy. It's like, especially when you start to see how the roles you've been playing, the patterns you've been running have done more harm than good to yourself and the people around you, it becomes something like, damn, like, I kind of want to sweep this under the rug, but I know I want to be better for me and also the people around me. I need everyone that's watching this video to take it easy on yourself. You have been this version of you for a long time. The survival version, the performing version, the version that didn't have language, didn't have tools, and didn't know what she was carrying or why. She ran your life for years, decades even, maybe forever. The new version of you, the one that is noticing, the one who is learning to name things, she is still being born. She's still being birthed. She is still recognizing herself. And anything that is still being born deserves grace. Don't beat yourself down. Don't hate yourself for what you don't know. Don't look at other people and feel like, I'm behind. Remember, comparison is the thief of joy. You're not behind. You're just beginning, and beginning is everything. So if you like this video, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And tune into my next week's video. We're going to nurture it of things. We're going to nurture ourselves now. Ciao.